Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Total Extreme Wrestling 2020 here on Lemon Cookie TV. I finally got the game. I am an Extreme Warfare veteran. I played these games 20 years ago. I got TEW 2016, didn't play too much. I think these games are a bit too much like, kind of reminds me of Football Manager, the Sega series. Too complex and too complicated to really play, but a great simulator. So I decided to, I guess, a great simulator, highly regarded. So I thought I would use this game for now, not to play it actively, but to use it as a kind of simulator to rewrite history. I got a mod called, I think, Hostile Takeover, based in the year 1996. So Steve Austin just won the King of the Ring tournament. Hollywood Hulk Hogan formed the NWO in WCW. I'm not sure if WCW has already completely taken over and become number one in the ratings at that point. I watched a lot of 90s wrestling. I watched a bit of 1994 WWF, but I was 7 years old at that time. You see me in the game. I created myself in the game I'm not going to interfere with the game just because I need to pick a character. I hate the word character when it comes to wrestling. So this is not a character. This is myself. I will start unemployed. And then I started watching the World Wrestling Federation in late 1998 Survivor Series when they returned to German television programming. Been a WWE guy ever since. They lost me a bit, especially last year with all this Bray Wyatt cinematic bullshit. I consider myself a kind of old school fan that thinks kayfabe is extremely important, that doesn't like AEW because of all the childishness and kayfabe fucking. I want to use this game, this let's play, it's not even a let's play, this let's simulate kind of to rewrite history for better or worse. Everything that happened after August 1996 has not happened. We do a little bit of time traveling and we will rewrite history. The only thing I changed about this mod is I set up, because I asked somebody on an internet board if you can make the AI have a Royal Rumble match at the Royal Rumble every year and then have the winner go to WrestleMania. Somebody told me no, that's not possible. So the only thing I changed in the database was to set the AI logic to have a battle royal in the main event of the Royal Rumble. This may be just a random battle royal, not a Royal Rumble match, probably without any WrestleMania implications, but at least I wanted to have that because I saw they also had set up AI logic for Survivor Series that they always have 4 versus 4 matches for every match on the card. That's the only thing I changed. Otherwise, I took this mod and the pictures, got them on the usual platform. So, can only recommend that. So, I'm excited to play, to just watch as history gets rewritten right in front of our eyes. So I'm gonna simulate every day, but I'm only gonna read the headlines and news and reports that I care about. Probably WWF, WCW, maybe a bit of ECW. I think Smoky Mountain Wrestling has already got out of business at this point. I'm not too much interested in Japan, maybe a bit. I don't really give a fuck about Lucha Libre. As a European, I may pay a little attention to European stuff. So I'm a man of mystery, but I'm 9 years old at this point. Shawn Michaels is in the money. He was on Funny Money. Funny doesn't draw money, everybody knows that. But he's the highest paid sports star at the moment. Paul Wynn for Rena Mero, Sable, Paul White Spotlight. That rhymes. So we're just gonna go ahead and see what happens. I don't know how. Oh, Larry Sharp. Yeah, I don't know how much I will present in each part. But we'll see. So here's the first episode of WCW Nitro. As I said, I'm not sure if WCW was already number one at this point. They were at least about to take over. Oh, Kurt Angle wins Olympic gold. Kurt Angle from Philadelphia. Isn't he from Pittsburgh? He was always announced from Pittsburgh. Maybe he's from Philadelphia originally. He won the Olympic gold medal in 1996. And yeah, also I checked out the database. We will have a lot of future people debuting in the future. Like I even saw Michelle McCool, of all people, debuting in 2004. So CM Punk is already in the game. we will have for the next decades the real future. There will not be complete random fantasy guys joining the wrestling world. I don't know if fantasy people will be added at some point by the game. I don't know about this. And I probably won't play this database until the ultimate future when only fantasy guys are in the game. But yeah, we can expect at least for the next few years and decades some authentic simulation. And yeah, we will see. Maybe WCW will put the WWE out of business. We will see. 8,954 fans for WCW Monday Nitro. And here we see show rating 83, 2.42 TV rating. Here's the show. 2 pre-show matches. Conan and John Tenter defeated Alex Red and Bunkhouse Buck. VK Wall Street defeated Jim Powers. And then in the show, an interview with the Outsiders. American Males defeated Rough and Ready. So I barely watched WCW. I also in 1996 didn't watch the WWF. So I rewatched some stuff, but I don't know all of these people. But of course, most of them as a wrestling fan for over 20 years now. So, rewatched some stuff on the WWE Network, but not all of them. I don't know who American Males are, but maybe they can show. Yeah, here I can see Marcus Bagwell and Scotty Riggs against Dick Slater and Mike Enos. So we get more details here if you want. There was an interview with Sting, but they're not going to tell us what they talk about, right? But the game will start storylines and angles by themselves, so I'm not going to interfere with anything. Mr. JL was defeated by 6. That's Jerry Lynn. Sting defeated the Ultimo Dragon, I think this is. So there was an angle with Lex Luger. They don't tell us what exactly happened. But we can still follow the show. An interview with Ric Flair, an interview with Ted DiBiase, a backstage segment with Rey Mysterio Jr. Greg Valentine defeated the Booty Man. Who is the Booty Man? I'm the Booty Man. I'm coming to get you. Dungeon of Doom, but the Barbarian, the Giant, and Kevin Sullivan defeated Rey Mysterio and the Rock and Roll Express. Randy Savage defeated Dean Malenko, 99 rating, and the Outsiders defeated the Steiner Brothers. So I would like to know what the interviews are about, but the game won't tell us. But it's okay. It's okay. We can still follow what's going on, and maybe we shouldn't go into too great detail. WWC Carlos Colon, I think this is Puerto Rico, isn't it? So let's just continue. Viktor Jovica, Croatian wrestler. So I always get some random profiles. New leader for the New World Order. Our sources within WCW have told us that Kevin Nash is going to be taking a leadership role within the New World Order, and that this change will happen at the next show. The new role is expected to be accompanied by a strong push. So we have the first episode of Monday Night Raw. But this is a taped program. This will air on the USA Network in the future. Show rating of 77, over 5,000 people in attendance. In the pre-show, Jake Roberts defeated the Sultan. There was a confrontation between Mark Marrow and The Undertaker. Vader defeated Rocky Maivia. There was a backstage segment with Vader, an interview with Hunter Hearst Helmsley and Goldust. The Stalker and the New Rockers defeated Savio Vega and the Godwins. Camp Cornette, Owen Hart and the British Bulldog defeated Triple H and Goldust. And The Undertaker defeated Mark Marrow. The best rating was 93 for Camp Cornette defeating Triple H and Goldust. Sounds like a solid show, but I think WCW has already taken over. Oh, The Undertaker with a turn. In big news coming out of WWF Monday Night Raw. The Undertaker has turned heel. The switch of allegiance, which had been rumored quite heavily prior to the show, should reinvigorate him as well as following him to work with a lot of fresh opponents. So just to get a bit used to the game, I already simulated a few weeks before I started this new database and this project, and this did not happen. So we will get kind of randomized, not completely randomized, but we will not get the same results every time. So this is cool to see that there are certain X factors in the game. Now The Undertaker is a heel. He turned against Mark Marrow. Is Mark Marrow a babyface? So the Dungeon of Doom has the Giant as their new leader. A lot of new leaders here. The New World Order has a new leader. Do they have one leader or multiple leaders? Are Hall and Nash now the leaders, or is this the latest news? Who's the leader now? WCW to launch a storyline. Ric Flair going head-to-head with Lex Luger. Sources have indicated that the feud will be the focal point of the promotion for somewhere between 6 and 9 months. Ooh. New tag teams, so I'm not too familiar with Japanese stuff. So the Giant will go head to head with Randy Savage, also between 6 and 9 months. Long storylines. So the Undertaker was seen as the star of Monday Night Raw. WCW may be interested in the Ultimate Warrior. Yeah, if you think that that is a good idea, just go ahead. ECW is about to set their sights, trying to fill some gaps with new talent. Oh, who is that? Alfred Hitchcock. So WCW added a new tag team, Cobra and Ice Train. They used the name Heavy Duty. The names always seem to be pretty much randomized, or pretty random. We see WCW Saturday Night. Were these shows always taped in individual arenas at individual tapings? Seems to be somewhere else, with around 2,000 people in attendance, 51 show rating. I think isn't this just a jobber show? Cobra and Ice Train defeated Kurosawa and Sergeant Buddy Lee Parker by DQ in the pre-show match, kind of dark match, I think. Alex Wright defeated Chavo Guerrero. So this sounds better than a 44 rating, but I think this is not only match quality, it's also crowd interest, and so on and so on. Overness reactions. A backstage segment with Jimmy Hart and a backstage segment with DDP took place. So why does Jimmy Hart only get a 48 rating? Probably because this is not the most popular show, or I don't know why. Probably because there are not too many people in attendance, it's just a small show. I don't know. Hey. Disco Inferno and Johnny Grunge defeat Pat Tanaka and Bunkhouse Buck. Hugh Morris defeat Jim Powers. The Booty Man and American Males defeat Scott Norton and High Voltage. Who is the Booty Man? Ed Leslie. So, WCW Super Estrellas. Carlos Colon results. So I'm not gonna read all of these reports, but I want to see who's. Jeff Jarrett is wrestling for the United States Championship Wrestling promotion. Brian Christopher, Bill Dundee. This sounds like my kind of promotion, maybe. So Sean Morley is out injured. That's Val Venus. He has a dislocated knee, out for a few weeks. Amy Lee joins WWC. There's a new team. Also here a new team. So, but we just continue. How much will I show you in one video? Maybe a few weeks, maybe a month. Maybe we'll go up to SummerSlam. Psycho Sid to start a new storyline. There has been talk from WWF that he may begin a lengthy feud with The Undertaker. New feud for Goldust. But let's have a look at WWF Superstars. So this is similar as WCW Saturday Night. And I have to admit, I didn't watch the WWF Superstars show too often. Or it was before my time. It's also a genre show, right? But did they tape this individually? Maybe. I need to... Yeah, I see some things that I need to... read about on the internet. I have some stuff that I don't know. Bob Holly defeated Leif Cassidy. Who is Leif I know the name, but whose gimmick was that? Ah, yeah, Al Snow, right. So, Justin Bradshaw defeated Mark Henry. There was a backstage segment with Mr. Perfect, a backstage segment with Sable. The Sultan defeated Barry Horowitz. Is the Sultan with the Iron Sheik? I hope so. Savio Vega defeated Dr. Isaac Yankim. Crush Marty Jannetty and the Stalker defeated who? And the Bushwhackers. Who? Barry Windham. So, yeah, little jobber show. A new feud for Goldust. WWE is planning a feud between Goldust and Vader. Sounds interesting to me. These are just rumors. And they may plan a feud between Shawn Michaels and Stone Cold Steve Austin. And Owen Hart versus Triple H. Yeah, I've heard of these feuds before. Onita claims a belt. FMW Independent Heavyweight Champion. I don't care about Onita, to be honest. So, what else do we have? ECW may start a new storyline. Raven going head-to-head with Tommy Dreamer. The Sandman will have a feud against Taz. The Dudley Boys have been disbanded. Sabu may start a storyline against Shane Douglas. The star of the show WWF Superstars was the Stalker. Juventud Guerrera is injured. A depressed orbital fracture. He may be out of action for a few months. Hope he will get well soon, as everybody else that got injured here. That's out of action for No, so we see Lisa Moretti. Oh, that's Ivory. She goes to the WWC. So I'm not gonna read all of these news. Axel Cruz is a Puerto Rican man who works primarily as an announcer. So we learn a lot of names, a lot of history, and a lot of details. So Giant Baba heel turn. So there was is this an All Japan, a big event? Okay, at least I should read about the big events. 36,000 people, show rating 69. Let's have a look. Giant Kimala defeated Satoru Ahsoka. Phil LaFawn, I know these people. Defeated Rob Van Dam. Doug Furness, I know him. Defeated Bobby Duncan Jr. Haruka Agen defeated Yoshinobu Kanemaru. Johnny Smith defeated Masao Inoue. Tsuyoshi Kikuchi defeated Yoshinara Ogawa to retain the AJPW World Junior Heavyweight Championship. Holy Demon Army defeated Jun Akiyama and Takao Omori for the AJPW All Asia Tag Team titles. Ryokaku Izumada, Giant Baba, and Masao Kimura defeated Taman Honda, Mighty Inoue, and Masanobu Fuchi. Dory Funk Jr. defeated Johnny Ace. Johnny Ace! My man. Mitsuo Momada and Misao and Kobashi defeated Gary Albright, Steve Williams, and Stan Hansen. Dr. Death wrestled. Oh, I know one of these people. The show drew a 1.05 TV rating, around 800,000 viewers. Giant Baba is a heel now. So, Jackie Pallo is retiring. Bill Dundee is retiring. Ooh, 52 years old. Terry Gordy goes to All Japan Pro Wrestling. Yeah, history gets rewritten. And this is pretty interesting. We will not interfere with anything. The Ultimate Warrior agrees to a deal with WCW. I don't know if in this mods and database, if they can set up certain things, that certain things might happen or will happen, that like the Ultimate Warrior goes to WCW, but didn't that happen later in 1998 or so? I don't know. We'll see. Also, a lot of X Factors, I guess. ECW got Bam Bam Bigelow and Matt Bourne. Jacqueline joins WWC. ECW Headhunter A. Luna Vachon joins the USWA. Chavo Guerrero joins CMLL. That's Chavo Senior. Chavo Classic. Steve Corino goes to ECW. Ian Rotten goes to ECW. Good lord. Glenn Osborne goes to ECW. I'm not gonna watch these ECW programs. At least I don't want to. Maybe I'll read the report. I can't watch them here anyway, right? Catchphrase for Warrior. Warrior has admitted that the new catchphrase here that he debuted last night was entirely improvised and that he's surprised that it appears to have gone down so well. Many fans were chanting it after the show, indicating maybe what did he talk about? Oh, this was a pay-per-view, right? WCW Hog Wild, 40,000 people in attendance, show rating 85, pay-per-view buy rate 4.74. Let's have a look at this pay-per-view. An extended pre-show. Oh, 5 pre-show matches. This is a bit much, isn't it? Alex Wright defeated Johnny Grunge. The American Males defeated the James Boys. So Steve Armstrong, Scott Armstrong, Marcus Bagwell, Scotty Riggs. Conan defeated Pat Tanaka. Scott Norton defeated Terry Taylor, and John Tender defeated Hugh Morris. Then the show began. The Giant did an interview talking about Randy Savage. Now, at least we get to know what they're talking about. Sorry. Losing my voice. Talking too much here. Sting got a promo on Hollywood Hogan. Big Baba Rogers defeated Sergeant Craig Pittman. There was an interview with the Warrior with his improvised material, but he got a solid rating. There was an interview with Ted DiBiase. Dean Malenko and Rough and Ready defeated Disco Inferno and the Rock and Roll Express. Dick Slater and Mike Enos are Rough and Ready. There was a backstage segment with Arn Anderson. Earl Robert Eaton, Bobby Eaton defeated Ed Leslie. At least we get the numbers for their in-ring performance. Interview with Scott Hall. Chris Benoit defeated Jim Powers. A backstage segment with Jimmy Hart. The Four Horsemen, Arn Anderson, Steve McMichael. The Mongo defeated Jim Duggan and Eddie Guerrero. There was an interview with Kevin Nash. A video hyped Harlem Heat versus the Blue Bloods. backstage segment with Diamond Dallas Page. Harlem Heat defeated the Blue Bloods to retain the WCW World Tag Team Championship. That's Steven Regal and Dave Taylor. Great tag team, in my opinion. Sting defeated Kevin Sullivan. Lex Luger defeated Six in a cage match to retain the WCW World Television title. The New World Order, Hogan and Nash defeated Warrior and Randy Savage. So, Warrior met Hulk Hogan in the ring, kind of, and Randy Savage and Kevin Nash. Kind of successful main event, 94 rating. Yeah, and for Chris Benoit and all the other tragedies that happened in the world of wrestling. We are in 1996. In this game, these things haven't happened. I don't think the game will have criminal events. At least I hope. To some extent, to make sure the game is realistic, probably some things will happen and people will die in the game, but I don't think there will be any kind of negative tragedies, events, because I think that wouldn't be in good taste. And yeah, for now we have to take the game as it is, August 1996, with people like Chris Benoit on the shows, and history gets rewritten. WCW Hog Wild was the first pay-per-view that we witnessed here. ECW Hardcore TV. Is this a weekly program? Is this a pay-per-view? It got a sellout attendance of 300 people. I don't want to go over everything here. There was an angle. Sabu called Shane Douglas, ended up on the wrong end of a beating. Doink the Clown wrestled Bubba Dudley. ECW The Doctor is in. This sounds like a pay-per-view, at least a lot of material here, so let's go through that. Tommy Dreamer attacked Raven via the crowd. Sabu and Shane Douglas got into a backstage brawl. Sammy the Silk, who's that, defeated Samu, defeated RVD. I just skipped the pre-show. There was an interview with Terry Gordy, an interview with Paul Heyman. Bubba Dudley defeated Steve Corino, an interview with Bill Alfonso. The Eliminators defeated Bad Breed to retain the ECW World Tag Team titles. Bad Breed attacked the Eliminators. A backstage segment with Francine. A backstage segment with Beulah McGillicuddy. Devon Dudley defeated Terry Gordy. Steve Williams defeated Stevie Richards. Big Dick Dudley, Taz, and Shane Douglas defeated Mikey Ripwreck and the Gangsters. The Sandman and Bam Bam Bigelow defeated Doink the Clown, took out Scorpion. Raven defeated Tommy Dreamer and Sabu to retain the ECW World Heavyweight Championship. Yeah, I actually don't care too much about ECW. A lot of AJPW news here. Fans amazed by Kevin Nash. Amazing new move. He learned his third move. What was that? 40,000 fans in the Mid-Atlantic here. New broadcasting deal for All Japan Pro Wrestling with a lot of companies here. NJPW. The New Legend Dragon Split. I'm not going to read these reports. The Great Sasuke won a title. MVP of the ECW show was Tommy Dreamer, but he's injured. He has a displaced tibia fracture. He will be sidelined for a month while he recovers. WCW Saturday Night got shown 0.14 TV rating. The Sandman is also injured. Broken ribs. He will work through the pain and not miss any dates, if he thinks that's a good idea. There's a new stable. Jeff Jarrett, the Spellbinder, and Reggie P. Fine as the Splinter. So, let's continue. WCW had their first pay-per-view, so we will simulate this part until we reach SummerSlam. So, we have news. WWF Superstars was shown. It got a 0.07 TV rating, so that's less than WCW Saturday Night. 55,000 viewers only. Isn't that really a low number for 90s WWF programming? Wasn't this a popular show? 50,000 people only. Dave Taylor joins AWF. I think this is not an exclusive deal. I guess he's still with WCW, isn't he? One Man Gang agrees to a deal with ECW. So let's continue. Dawn Marie. WCW with a new tag team, Eddie Guerrero and Conan. They're teaming up as Pitch Black. Monday Nitro in the pre-show, Pitch Black defeated Pat Tanaka and Bunkhouse Buck. There was an angle. Randy Savage won an impromptu brawl with the Giant. Hollywood Hulk Hogan repelled an attack from Sting. Arn Anderson defeated Joey Max. There was a confrontation between Dean Malenko and the Warrior. There was an interview with Jim Duggan, a backstage segment with DDP, an interview with Ted DiBiase. The Rock and Roll Express defeated the Blue Bloods in a match I would like to see. Sting defeated Max Muscle, whoever that is. The Dungeon of Doom, the Barbarian, Big Bubba Rogers, and the Giant defeated Rey Mysterio Jr. and the Nasty Boys via DQ. There was a backstage segment with Jimmy Hart, an interview with Kevin Nash. The Warrior defeated Dean Malenko, who probably worked his ass off just to get disrespected and squashed by the Warrior. Scott Hall defeated Jim Duggan, and Lex Luger defeated Kevin Sullivan to retain the WCW World Television title. 75 show rating, 8,898 people in attendance. If there would have been one person less, they probably would have won some kind of lottery. The show achieved a 2.37 TV rating. 1.8 million viewers. Isn't that really low for 90s standards? So I thought in the 90s there were bigger ratings and bigger numbers. But maybe the wrestling boom has not really started in 1996. Yeah, so what did I wanted to say something, I forgot about it. So I hope the game here by itself, without me interfering, books logical shows. We will see. Raw was broadcast, got a 0.94 TV rating, only 700,000 people, and I think it's not normal that Nitro has a much higher rating, 2.37, and Raw only less than 1. Did they have such a big difference? Raw was a taped show, Nitro was not. Yeah, but WWF is in trouble here. But I'm not sure if they were in such big trouble at this point already. Paul White with a non-displaced sternal fracture. He is expected to be out of action for a few months. This certainly hurts WCW. Dave Finlay joins ECW with his great mustache here. Jake Roberts, who's that? Legendary piss drinker. Monday Night Raw was taped. Over 8,000 people in attendance. 75 show rating. In the pre-show, Bob Holly and Who defeated Isaac Yankeem and The Goon. Nice team. The Jake Roberts defeated Leif Cassidy by DQ. A video recapped the Shawn Michaels versus Stone Cold Steve Austin feud. Hasn't that feud just started? I think there has nothing happened in that feud, has it? Mark Merrow and the Body Donners defeated the Stalker and the Smoking Guns. There was a backstage segment with Mr. Perfect, a backstage segment with Doc Hendricks, an interview with Farouk, Mankind, and Marty Jannetty. Weird team. Defeated the Godwins. Farouk defeated Savio Vega for the Intercontinental Championship. So who was the Intercontinental Champion? Did Farouk just win the IC title? I don't remember any of these two having the IC title. Shawn Michaels and Psycho Sid defeated Camp Cornette, Vader, and Owen Hart. So Shawn Michaels put in the star performance of the show. Farouk won the Intercontinental Championship. It was vacant. Was that title really vacant at the time? Farouk with the first WWF title win here, the new Intercontinental Champion. Finlay also joins AWF. I don't know what AWF is, but anyway, so I want to go up to SummerSlam. Dory Funk Jr. without a picture agrees to a deal with ECW. WCW Saturday night pre-show. I'm gonna skip. Heavy Duty defeated High Voltage. There was a backstage segment with Rey Mysterio Jr., a backstage segment with Booker T. Sergeant Craig Pittman and Pitch Black defeated Scott Norton, and the James Boys. John Tenta defeated Kurosawa, and the Booty Man defeated Alex Wright. Over 2,300 people. Show rating 56. Jerry Lawler wrestled for USWA. New team in WWC. Muhammad Hussein and Titan Warrior. Saturday night. Hardly spectacular. John Tenta. Addition to Kai and Tai. Well, this is not WWE Kai and Tai. Yeah, I think we can continue. Gabe Sapolsky. So Farouk is the new IC champion. Jake Roberts and Savio Vega teaming up. They're called the Dogs of War. Yeah, these tag team names are really generic. Now, we always joking about WWF name generators. So these tag teams are really like generated by some generator. Sold out WWF Superstars. WWF seems to draw solid attendances still. Show rating of 61. Bob Holly defeated Rick Titan, a backstage segment with Brian Pillman and one with Farouk. Sultan defeated Mark Henry. Jake Roberts and Savio Vega defeat The Goon and Isaac Yankim. Leaf Cassidy, the Stalker, and Crush defeat Who and Bushwhackers. So, new tag team Alex Porto and Barry Horowitz. Team Zero Tolerance. WWF Superstars was underwhelming. The Stalker had the best performance of the show. Yeah, I want to continue up till SummerSlam. When will SummerSlam take place? So we got American Wrestling Federation. So I don't want to read all of this. Bob Caller is retiring. Haruka Agan is about to retire. A heel turn by Mitsuharu Misawa. He turned heel. Wow. Jose Estrada Jr. ECW Hardcore TV. Shane Douglas defeated 911 to retain the ECW television title. The Eliminators defeated the Pitbulls to retain the ECW World Tag Team titles. Sabu and Douglas with a brawl. Salmon and Taz with a brawl. I'm not going to read everything here. 62 show rating. Over 300 people in attendance. A lot of new Japan deals. WCW Saturday Night was shown 10.14 TV rating. Which is not a good rating, I guess. Conan to begin a new storyline within AAA. I don't give a fuck about AAA. Or Mexican wrestling in general. Ray Gonzalez wins a title. WWC. So... There's a rumor that Roddy Piper is staying with the WWF. The IT crowd for Asia. WWF rejection. The rumor mill has shot into life that with indications that WWF have not offered a contract extension to Bushwhacker Luke. What about Butch? Have instead said he's free to leave when his current deal expires. The reports are currently unconfirmed. WWF Superstars was broadcast 007 TV rating. The Buccaneers formed in WWC. So there will be a new episode of WCW Monday Nitro. Can we get some statistics of how the ratings goes up and down. So Monday Nitro, 78 show rating, over 8,000 people in attendance, 2.3 TV rating. Dungeon of Doom defeated Disco Inferno and Cobra. There was an interview with the Warrior, a backstage segment with Rey Mysterio. Interview with Scott Hall. Sting defeated Chris Kanyon. A backstage segment with Jim Duggan. A backstage segment with Booker T. The Booty Man and Harlem Heat defeated Bobby Eaton and the Blue Bloods. A backstage segment with Jimmy Hart. A backstage segment with Arn Anderson. A backstage segment with Scott Steiner. Scott Hall defeated Glacier. Hogan and Nash defeated the Rock and Roll Express. Nice match. I'd like to see that. Randy Savage defeated DDP. And Ric Flair defeated Jim Duggan in a tables match to retain the WCW United States Championship. Kind of odd main event. Raw, the taped Raw aired 096 TV rating. So clear victory for WCW. ECW Hardcore TV got shown 004 TV rating. So let's continue. Marty Jannetty. Raw was taped, 76 show rating, 8,999 people in attendance. Shawn Michaels with an interview talked about Steve Austin. Mankind defeated Rocky Maivia. Yeah, these two people may see each other again in the ring in the future. There was a backstage segment with Brian Pillman. And it pisses me a bit off that we don't really see what this is about. But at least here these angles tell us if they interact with somebody else. There was an interview with Roddy Piper and an interview with the British Bulldog. Old school material, a lot of promos. Hunter Hearst Helmsley and the Body Donnas defeated the Stalker and the Smoking Guns. Farouk defeated Mark Merrow and Marty Jannetty to retain the Intercontinental Championship. Undertaker and Stone Cold Steve Austin defeated Psycho Sid and Shawn Michaels. Undertaker was said to be the star of the show. So, WCW Saturday Night took place from about 2,000 people, 43 show rating. Scott Norton defeated Sergeant Craig Pittman in the main event. Backstage segment with DDP, Scott Steiner. I don't really care too much about these small programs. So, we have ECW and WAPA TV agree to a cooperation. Last night's WCW Saturday Night, Eddie Guerrero was said to be the star of the show. WWF extend deal with Roddy Piper. So these are the more important news, I think. Roddy Piper has agreed to an exclusive written contract with the WWF. So I'm not sure if this was officially confirmed or still a rumor. So WWF Superstars was taped, sold out, crowd 1,200 people, 55 show rating. A video, a rivalry between Marty Jannetty and Mark Merrow. Has this rivalry? They always show videos at the beginning of a rivalry. When I don't know that this rivalry, I think the rivalry had not started yet. So there's a video covered the rivalry between Marty Jannetty and Mark Merrow. I don't know. Weird way to start a rivalry. But anyway, so in the main event, the Sultan, the Stalker Crush defeated Savio Vega and the Bushwhackers. Sorry. Bob Holly defeated Bradshaw. So we had the MVP of the show was the Stalker. Who is the Stalker? Is that Barry Windham? No, Barry Windham is the Stalker. Okay, I know the Stalker. So let's go to SummerSlam. Scotty Riggs evolving. What do you mean by that? His current entertainer image is out there and he wants to switch his focus to be more of a regular wrestler. Maybe a good idea. So Paul Heyman again. Reputation 100, especially when it comes to finance. So, ECW Hardcore TV, one-man gang put a star performance. Raven defeated the Sandman to retain the ECW World Heavyweight title. 60 show rating. Otherwise, I only check these videos to see if there are any title changes. WCW Saturday Night drew a 111 or 11011? 011 rating. So please tell me how to pronounce that. So then we are going to new team in the WWF. The Stalker and Crush teamed up. They are now Team Raw. And there's SummerSlam. Excited to see that. 29,000 people in attendance. So WWE is also drawing good numbers, but less than WCW show rating of 84. But they're maybe having the better programs. Again, a pay-per-view buy rate of 2.86. Sounds pretty good. Let's see what SummerSlam had to offer. I'm gonna ignore the pre-show. There was a backstage segment with Vince McMahon. The Stalker and Crush defeated the Body Donnas. An interview with the British Bulldog. An interview with Bret Hart. 4 interviews after another, maybe a bit too much. Interview with Bret Hart. Interview with Roddy Piper. Interview with Sonny. Jeff Jarrett and the New Rockers defeated Bob Holly and the Bushwhackers. A video hyped Smoking Guns versus the Godwins. An interview with Mankind. The Smoking Guns defeated the Godwins to defend the World Tag Team Championships. Yokozuna defeated Jerry Lawler. A backstage segment with Mr. Perfect. Goldust defeated Vader in a good match. backstage segment with Dark Hendricks, backstage segment with Sable, backstage segment with Farouk, backstage segment with Brian Pillman. Owen Hart defeated Triple H in a match with a great rating. Farouk defeated Mark Merrow in a cage match to retain the Intercontinental Championship. The Undertaker defeated Psycho Sid, and Shawn Michaels defeated Stone Cold Steve Austin in a tables match to retain the WWF World Heavyweight Championship. The two main events got great ratings. Also, Owen Hart against Triple H, Goldust vs. Vader was popular, and yeah, again a tables match. What's up with all these table matches? So, Superstars World Broadcast got an 007 TV rating. SummerSlam was excellent. The Undertaker was the star of the show. So what can we see here? I cannot access anything. What do we see here? WWF. We see the prestige of the title. Farouk, King of the Ring, Royal Rumble. So at least the Royal Rumble is a title here. I don't know if we can use that. If they will have that. As I said, I changed so that there is a battle royal at the Rumble. I think we have to book that ourselves. So, but WWF is ranked first in the world. WCW is second in the world. Maybe they are better in the USA, but maybe not internationally. And they have much more money. WWF has about 3 million, WCW about 77 million. But yeah, so their size 76. WCW have a size rating of medium. They are considered the number 2 in the world. They're not drawing so much in Europe. How much does the WWF draw in Europe? And WWF is more popular in Europe a bit, in other countries. Yeah, so they're still considered number 1 in the world. Medium. I would call these companies medium. But yeah, the boom has not really completely started. ECW is 10th in the world. Who's number 3 in the world? It's New Japan. So, some nice cools here. WCW Power Plant. Yeah, in the next part you will see the next pay-per-views and the way to these pay-per-views. So we see Farouk winning the new title, some new debuts, some new teams. WWF allegedly still number 1 in the world. So when will the next event take place? Where can I see that? WWE size, roster, relationships. Events and television. So we will have Mind Games in September. And for WCW we have Fall Brawl in September. So Hog Wild was a slightly better pay-per-view than SummerSlam. Well, yeah, we'll see you in the next episode. I'll see you then. Take care. See you. Bye-bye.